Hello, everybody. This is Umjaka. Welcome to SoccerBeat. It's another week, another banging show for you. Of course, I'm not rolling alone. I'm rolling with legends. I call them the band, the boy band of Mzansi football, Mzansi soccer. That's Michael Morton, Tsepo Masilela, and of course, Cheezboy Mokoena. What up, gents?
Evening, gents. Evening, Caesar.
Of course, we got a banging show, guys. This show is going to be a slightly different from what you've seen before. We are dedicating a lot of today to fans, to the questions that you've been sending us, to the feedback that you've been sending us. Please keep them coming at SoccerBeat ZA. We love your feedback and we value it because we want to grow and deliver exactly what you want to hear. We're also going to zoom in on the champions, Mamelodi Sundowns, and see what happened there. Where's the structure changed? What has changed? How will it impact their season? But before we get into it, let's go to an ad break.
Lebu is stretching out and reaching high in Betway's latest game, Aviator.
Aviator?
Place a bet and the plane flies higher and higher. Pick the right time to cash out and you could win millions.
Millions?
Let's see.
Just,
Woo!
it's a shoe! He's cashed out and flown off with the win!
All at the luckiest place to play, Aviator, Betway.
Every single week, we'll be giving away 6 Kaizer Chiefs jerseys. I repeat, 6 brand new Kaizer Chiefs jerseys, proudly brought to you by Kappa. All you have to do is finish the sentence. Abafana Bogutula, you know the rest. Comment below with your answer. Remember, you have to be a subscriber to SoccerBeat. Standard T's and C's apply. Welcome back from the ad break. As I said, you can win yourself 6. You can be one of the winners of 6 Kaizer Chiefs shirts. 6, guys. The new jerseys from Kappa, courtesy of Kappa, of course, who are our sponsors for this show. Tsepo, show them what they can win and let them know, my brother.
Hello, everyone.
Opa.
This is what you can win.
That's what you can win.
I'm a Kosi, Baba.
Hey, you don't play small.
Joe.
Guys,
6 jerseys.
Hottest 6, guys, every single week. 6 jerseys you can win right here on SoccerBeat. So I don't know, Makosi. I don't know what you have to do, but the question is right there it was there on the screen. It's very easy. I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan, you should be knowing this. Abafana Boktula, finish the sentence. It's very easy, and you can win yourself one of those. Maybe if you're in the location, Tsepo can add an autograph or something for you, right, Tsepo?
Yes, and maybe a special delivery from me.
That's 10 times the value.
Right.
10 times the value. And 10 times the value.
All right, gents, let's zoom in on the champions. Betway Premiership, new season. Also a new sponsor. Of course, our sponsors, Betway, are involved. Of course, for me, this says Sundowns were the last team to win the previous cup, right? There's going to be a new trophy, obviously, because of a new sponsor. Are they going to win this one as well, gents? Let me give it to you, Mike.
Look, it's hard to look past Sundowns. I think the coach change might bring a little bit of instability, but you can't look past that squad. I think they're a very dangerous force. I think that they're going to be very dominant in cup competitions again, but there are some other guys like Stellenbosch, Cape Town City and Orlando Pirates that could throw a spanner in the works, but they're hard to look past Sundowns.
And that's exactly how I wanted to start, Mike. Let's zoom in on the squad, then we'll go into the coaching structure. Tsepo, lots of signings that we saw, of course, at Sundowns. Less than usual, right? Have they signed right? Is it a stronger side than last season?
Stronger side, I'm not sure about that, but they've signed right. Like if you look at the age of the new signings, Arthur Sales, 22 years, Hodisang, 24 years, Keegan, 23 years, and Aseko, 19 years. I think they're looking at the squad they have, and they're looking at players who can take over in case, they need to, the squad is aging maybe, or they need to, tweak here and there or release some of the older guys. I think the signings were more focused on the age side and how many seasons can the new players give us.
Is it stronger, Cheesy? Are they bigger
Yeah,
players? Are they
I,
players
I,
that are
I
gonna get in and make an impact?
for me, they already have a strong squad. I mean, if you look at, they've kept most of the core that was there last season. They just bolstered a little bit with a few youngsters. I think looking at maybe the next season when some of the guys start to age, maybe they can start having these youngsters adapt as soon as possible. But not really too much changes. I think they'll still maintain with the same core and maybe give some of the guys that didn't have a chance last season to actually play because it's a new technical team. They might also come up with changes as well.
Last season, they some of the guys that have left, guys. Let's start with those before we talk about the new ones.
Yeah.
Mendieta, I think was is maybe a big. I don't know if because he was a big player at Stellenbosch. Is he a big loss?
I actually big loss. I think you cut it. Aye. From the first day I saw Mediated Sundowns, I was not sure. I'll tell him he was not going to fit into that system. The type of player that he is. Yes, he played well for Stellis. You take an example of Reynas when he got to Supersport and eventually played well when he went back home. So I think Mendieta struggled. I looked at him in his first few games. I think the Coach Rolani tried to give him a chance, and but you could see, man, he could not just link up with the guys. Ngihlezi ngimbona athekile yathekile uMendieta man, no thekila too much.
I think and Zungu. Tell me about Zungu. I think he's maybe a big conversation in my book, Mikey.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a big loss. Obviously, he's a great player, but I didn't see him really feature that much last season. They used him every now and again, but even then, he wasn't his real self. The player that left to go overseas, he wasn't the same player when he came back. I don't feel. He obviously struggled, and then there was obviously the incident with Bernard Parker that I think affected him massively, and he was never really the same. I don't feel when he came back from that. Obviously, all the limelight was on him every time he was going into a challenge. The players were rushing around the referee trying to get him sent off again. It becomes difficult when you get that tagline as being a dirty footballer or a dirty tackler. Then the refs do look at you, and I think he struggled after that.
All right. I want to compare the ins that have come in this season compared to what happened last season. Last season they brought in Lorch,
Yeah,
Albas,
yeah.
was another big signing. Of course, Tashik Matthews. Those three guys. How was their impact in the on the squad?
They played. I think they
Let me
played a
give.
big role in fit too. I mean, Obas came in. He got a couple of games under his belt. In that central midfield role, which was dominated by Tsepo Mokoena, and you had Rivaldo Kutia. That's a quality in that midfield. But he managed to squeeze through, and he had a couple of good games. So I think that was a good signing from them. Also looking at the signing of Lorch, I think he got there. He got the ball rolling as soon as he got there. As much as there was so much speculation and drama that Coach Rolani umletile, Maglet uhambile. So, but he delivered for Coach Rolani for those few games. I think we were all hoping that this coming season we'll see a much more relaxed Lodge at Sundowns and much more comfortable in terms of his environment.
You know how it is. The fans want to hear the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers here, and I'm thinking, Lodge 10 appearances.
Yeah.
But got his 2 goals. Albas 13 appearances. Tashik Matthews 12 appearances. What's going on in modern football? You're a big player and you sign for a team and you play less than 15 games. Tsepo, for me, that sounds like very little impact.
Yeah, but you must remember again with Lorch, he joined not in the beginning of the season. He joined midway, and
Correct. Correct.
Obas, when he got there, he was struggling a bit with injuries, and you must remember teams like Sundowns competition is tough. You already have the guys like Mokoena that are there, well established. They've been at Sundowns for long. You have to wait for your chance. As much as yes, it's numbers but you have to wait for your chance. At big teams, you have to wait for your chance, and if the chance come, you must grab it with both hands. But also Tariq Matthews, he's still young, he's still got time, and the few
Yeah.
games that he played, I was very impressed. He's got an eye for goal. his movement of the ball is great, and he's one for the future.
Now let's zoom in on the coaching structure, gents. Big changes made, of course. Mangoba, what has been there, won trophies as his assistant coach. He's the only coach within the three that actually won a trophy outside of Sundowns. How big of an impact is that for a team that expects to win? You call them PSG and Real Madrid, Mikey.
Yeah, look, I think it's not going to be easy. I mean, when I hear Steve talking already, he's already talking about a storming phase, how that the team's not going to be able to sort of hit the ground running. This new coaching team, that there's going to be a period of time where the team's going to have to get used to the coaching staff and the new methods and everything. So I don't know if that's prepping us already for maybe not a great start or
What a disaster.
what the story is, but they definitely have put that out there that there's a storming phase and don't expect miracles overnight. So yeah, I think there definitely will be a bit of a hangover after Rulani left. I think he was very instrumental in their style of play and obviously a massive character and personality, and I think the players were quite close to him. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond to the new technical team.
Tsepo,
think
these
that's
are all
just
head coaches. Yeah,
that's
go ahead,
just
Tsepo. Cheese.
that's just the way of how coaches have to manage the storm, guys. You say we're not gonna start the way we are used to, but if they start hitting the ground running, those talks are gonna be out of the window, you know. So it's just
Dream.
playing a 50-50
Yes,
chance. If it goes well, then we have nothing to say. If it does not go well in this MTN game, then it's that no, guys, we are going through a phase. What? Hey, I got Mukho Steve, man. Hey, they must hit the ball
Hey,
running, man.
hey, Cheesy, trust the process, brother. Trust the
Yes,
process.
yes.
Having said that, Tempo, how about the chemistry? I mean, Coach Steve and Mangoba obviously know each other. They've worked together and also speak the same language and possibly from the same background as well as South Africans. And now they've added to Fohloza, you know. Mabekhuluma isiZulu or isiXhosa sabo. Is he is Fohloza gonna feel left out?
No, definitely not. He won't feel left out. The fact that they brought him in to join the technical team, it means he's part of them. And looking at Coach Mangoba, he's been at Sundowns for maybe over 10 years now. You know, as much as we're saying it's a change of coaches or roles or whatever, but he's been there for years now. He was there with Coach Pito. He's been there with Coach Rulani, and at some point, I think he was the coach, like a co-coach system, but he was the main guy before
Yeah,
they changed and went to Rulani. So he's not new to the environment, so we can't really call it a new coach or complete new technical team. Coach Steve was there also
new coach.
before he left for Swallows and Arrows. So these two gentlemen, they've been there, and they're very experienced. They've been around our local game for years now. So it's
Yeah,
not it's not like we bringing a coach completely new to the South African football. So, and as Cheese said, the core of the team is still there at Sundown. So I don't expect them to struggle that much. But obviously, some players have developed, like, the chemistry and whatever with Coach Rolani. So they are more close. But in
yeah.
football, as a player, one thing that you must know is that coaches come and go, players come and go, and you need to quickly move on from whatever has happened, because the games will never stop and wait for the players to moan or cry about coaches. So the sooner they move on, the better for everyone.
Man, I'm concerned about the chemistry, Mikey, because of course it looks like, and what Coach Mangoba has said, Fortoza was perhaps his recommendation because of what he's seen from his work at Amazulu. I'm not sure then how one would feel as Coach Steve in that situation.
yeah. Look, it's quite a common thing in South Africa now. This multi-coach thing that we're doing, 2-3 coaches. So I don't know the dynamic. I've never really experienced it as 3 co-coaches or however they're going to work it. Yeah, I've never played under that sort of thing, but I think it maybe at Sundowns it seems like a commonplace, and Rulani, Steve, and Mangoba made it work for a very long time. So maybe that's a system that does work. It's just about incorporating new faces. But as Tsepo said, these guys are part of the furniture at Sundowns. So I don't see a massive overhaul. It's maybe going to be interesting to see how much of the way Sundowns was playing was Rulani. Are we going to see a different Sundowns? Or is it a Sundowns methodology and they just carry on playing that the way Sundowns play? Or do Steve and Mangoba like flip the script and bring us a new Sundowns? That's going to be interesting to see.
And the stakes are high and the levels are high. I mean, Coach Rulani, I mean, almost going unbeaten in the league is quite a step up. Now from there, are the coaches going to achieve that with the guys that they brought in? I see Kodisang is in there. Do you now risk throwing your new guys to make sure you get that level, or you're going to use the same guys as last season? Tsepo or Cheese, you can take this as well.
I think they need to just continue with the core that they have. I think if they're going to make a lot of changes, bring in the new players, it's going to take a bit of time for them to really adjust. Let the guys that have been there start off the work, and let these other new players that are coming in slowly adjust them to new system, the new philosophy that they'll be bringing. Because obviously, I think there will be changes in terms of how they play. I don't think we'll see the same Sundowns that we saw under Coach Rulani. No coach wants to get into another coach's pedal and start pedaling on that same horse. They also want to have something a bit different. So I'm sure they're also going to come up with something new. We can't wait to see that. But yeah, as for the new players, I think they'll need a bit of time to adjust. Rather stick with the core and then bring in the new players as the season prolongs.
Last one, Tsepo. Keegan Johannes, big signing, of course, from SuperSport, was getting to that captaincy at SuperSport as well. Is this a start over for him at Sundowns? Is this a new beginning, or is he gonna take off, get in and slot in immediately?
No, definitely it's a new beginning for him. As I've said before, like, competition is tough at Sundowns. You don't just get there and, own a jersey or a sport. So it's a new beginning for him. But luckily he's got his boys that he played with at Super Sport. They all help him to settle and, to get familiar with the place. But he's going to have to fight for his place. At big teams, you fight for your place.
And it's still Pretoria, right?
Yeah, that's the SuperSport Academy there. That's Sundowns is just SuperSport Academy.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mikey, there. But it's going to be tough for him, Tsepo, because, I mean, if you look at the right back position, I mean, they have Mudau, who's been doing really well. They have Lukubeni that also just came back, I think, from loan. So it's going to be difficult to actually take out. And you got the Morena that's very versatile for them, that plays at that position. Yeah. So in terms of game time for him, he really needs to work his socks off to actually make it into the team. But I know he can also play right winger, of which Sundowns doesn't really use a right winger. The midfielders tuck inside to create the 3-10s. So interesting to see what's going to happen with him. Was it a good move, or he should have stayed there and taken the arm belt, man?
I'm looking at him as another centre back, Cheesy. Like, I don't know. When I look at that signing, I'm thinking no one's moving Mudau. So I don't know if they're signing him as another centre back. I don't know if that's a possibility.
And he likes playing centre back, by the way. So that's going to be very interesting. What he wants personally and what the coach decides. And how he takes that. So let's go to an ad break. We need to get to the fan questions, guys. I'm sure you're itching to hear what the fans have said about you and what they're asking you. Let's go to an ad break.
Lebu is stretching out and reaching high in Betway's latest game, Aviator.
Aviator?
Place a bet and the plane flies higher and higher. Pick the right time to cash out and you could win millions.
Millions?
Let's see.
Just woo! It's a shoe! He's cashed out and flown off with the wind!
All at the luckiest place to play, Aviator, Betway.
We're back. As I promised you, we've got questions from the readers. Excuse my eyes, always looking down. Of course, I have to read exactly what they've written, guys. I don't want them to be misquoted, because they really have submitted these. I really have enjoyed the show. Took the time to give us feedback. I think let's start with Pirates. MTN8 this past weekend Um, I've got here gentleman Cornelius Mukele. He says he loves the show. Wants to talk about the refereeing in that MTN8 game. Um, Nike, we mentioned VAR. How much pressure is the PSL now under? After one game, immediately there's problems.
Yeah, look, where there's football, there's always going to be decisions that are going to be questioned. So yeah, look, VAR, we do need it at a point, but until we are upskilling these refs, like, look, we still need good refs. At the end of the day, like, even with the VAR system, they're still going to have to make an on-field decision. When you show a referee a picture on a screen, he still has to make a decision as well. So look, I agree. There's definitely some very dodgy decisions that could have gone either way. But yeah, it's a difficult one. But our refs do need to get better, I think.
He also added a little bit about Tito here. He was caught on camera throwing that elbow. How serious is that in your view, Cheese?
I
I know back in the day,
I actually
happened
saw
all the
that.
time.
I actually saw that, but it took me back to the point where we spoke about the VAR. I was like, that was a sending off. And we don't encourage this from the players to do these things off the ball and stuff. Taking advantage because there's no VAR.
Yeah.
So that's something that should be a message to the players that yes, it's a contact sport and stuff, but there's other people that are watching from the outside, and sometimes your behavior on the field can really spoil the good work that you're doing. And for me personally, I think that could have been a red card if we had VAR. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
other players are going to get away with stuff like that.
But he was lucky that the guy didn't, because often what happens if you do that is that the guy obviously acts like he's been shot
down.
by a sniper, and then
Yeah.
so he's lucky that the guy took it and didn't do anything. Because if I hit Cheesy with that elbow, I think Cheesy would still be rolling out of the stadium now.
Oh man.
You know what Coach Peter would
Balotelli.
say when Coach Peter would say when something like that happens. Oh man,
Yeah.
you must go down, man. Stop being Samson from the Bible, man.
Iwa. All right, Balotelli Mzansi. Tsepo, you mentioned 7 signings. And Balotelli did your homework here. Macbeth Mahlangu from TS Galaxy, Fawaz Basadin, Stellenbosch, Bongani Zungu. He's a free agent, obviously. Tato Kiba, TS Galaxy as well. He thinks I'm going to give Asanele and Ashley Cupido to the teammate Mikey there. But what do you think of the 4 names that I mentioned? Macbeth, Fawaz, Bongani Zungu, Tabo Kiba. Which one stands out for you?
Obviously, Bongani Zungu, because of the experience, he's been overseas. He played for Sundowns, he's won trophies, and he's played for, I think at some point he was at Rangers in Scotland, coached by Gerrard. So he's got the experience. And again, I'll go back to the point where we are all saying at Chiefs, who's the senior player? He can assume that role of a senior player and, try guide the youngsters and take the pressure off the young boys. He's a standout name for me.
Okay, and of course, I wanna talk about these two because you play with them. You don't have to tell us. You have to tell us your true feelings, Mikey, about them possibly leaving.
So what I'll say about them, they are terrible players, not good at all. Don't come near them. You do not need them. I don't think they will make any difference at Chiefs. Leave them alone. Leave them at Cape Town Spurs exactly where they are. They're not of the level that you need. We find at Cape Town Spurs.
Mikey, I said, don't tell us your feelings. Tell us about the players.
Mikey's saying, leave them alone.
Yeah.
But if they make the move, Mikey, do you think they'd fit right in?
Yeah, two quality players. But yeah, let us get back to the PSL before you come knocking at the door, please.
Mikey doesn't want to lose anymore. He doesn't want to lose any more players, guys. Hey, come on.
Let me quickly move to Trevor K. Trevor K says, it's the first time he hears of something like this where people are panicking. Baxter's first season in the top 8, he lost 4-1. Tsepo, I'm not sure if you're in that team. They lost against Sundowns, and a few weeks later hit Amazulu with a couple of goals too. Tsepo, People are pressing panic buttons about MTN8 performance, preseason performance. Your views, you guys improved and turned things around.
Yes, I was not part of that team actually. I think I
Okay.
signed right after that game or a couple of weeks after that game. You know,
Okay.
but the
Oh, so
they,
you helped them improve.
you, no, no, yeah, I can never do it alone. It's the whole team. But they're
Yeah.
right. You know, you can say, oh, it was a preseason game, and we don't have to panic, and there was no stakes, involved. But yeah, we just looking at it like from the whole, the game, how it played out. We're not
Yeah.
looking at the results and then
Yeah.
leaving the performance alone. No, we're looking at it from the performance and the last season's performance. So it
Yeah.
also counts a lot. Like they finished 10th, if I'm not mistaken, on the log. So definitely they will need some guys to improve the squad and to improve the team. And they have a new coach, and the coach himself said it that he'll need to sign new players, of high quality.
Yeah.
So it doesn't only come from us, me, Mikey,
Yeah.
or Cheesy, but the coach himself. He did admit that after the younger game, he will definitely need some players to improve the team.
Yeah.
And people, and I hear from Tricky Red Devs. He says people are unrealistic. Where are they going to find 7 signings at this stage of the season? Cheesy. In my view, anybody if Chiefs come calling, I'm jumping.
I think any player would do that if Chiefs come calling. It all will depend on the clubs if they can release the players. I think Chiefs is also looking at breaking the bank a bit because buying players now that are still in contract is gonna cost them. But if that's what they need, they have to break the bank. I mean, Tsepo mentioned an experienced player that is available like Zungu. I think that's one player that could help them in that holding midfield, very comfortable on the ball, experience, very physical. He's got good technique, he's got good vision. So I think that's where they should be looking. Break the bank, get a Basadin. I played with him at Swallows. Fantastic player. He can play also as a left winger. So a very very player that likes to go forward. And a brilliant left foot, good at set pieces as well. So I think they should also look into that as well. I don't know where they're gonna find a striker, but hey, Mela striker.
The next one is a really, really good one. Peter, I beg to differ. Chiefs had all the good, has all good players in their team. Chiefs just need a manager. How is basically saying how is TS Galaxy and Stellenbosch pulling it off? Mikey, are you in agreement that it's the same situation? Chiefs are in the same situation as Stellenbosch and TS Galaxy, and they should just figure it out.
No, I don't agree with that. If I had to take the Stellenbosch 11, starting 11, and the Chiefs starting 11, I don't think there's too many players in that Chiefs 11 that make it into the Stellenbosch team. Might be a controversial decision. When I put them side by side, I don't see too many players that make it into that Stellenbosch team. I think, yeah, that comparison, TS Galaxy at the moment, with the transfer ban and all that sort of stuff, maybe I can see that comparison with squads. But no, Stellenbosch for me are a top 3 team right now.
All right. And then the next question, he says he agrees with Tsepo that you need new signings, you need to beef up because that's what happened with you guys when you got Parker all joined. You boosted the team immediately. That's Manisi 142 Ross. That's for you, Tsepo.
You're saying he does agree with me, then we
Yeah.
all good. But obviously, with no, obviously, with signing of players, it's not an easy task for a team. There's a team-to-team agreement. If a player is still contracted to Team B, like Team A has to negotiate, and it's not an easy task. But nowadays, like big teams, they also invest in the scouting department. You can get players from. We've seen Sundowns. They go get from South America. You can
Yep.
also, so it's the scouting department, and the sporting director, they have to working together with the coach. They all have to figure it out where they get the players. But yeah, it's not easy. The market sometimes can be tricky for teams to sign players, but hopefully they can get the right ones, the good ones, and they can improve the team.
And exactly that. That's the last one that's coming up. Speaks to exactly that from Dobek or Leslie. Does anybody will anybody and does anybody want to sell to Chiefs at this point with a few weeks to go before the season starts? Mikey.
I think you do want to sell to Chiefs now because the reality is Chiefs back against the wall now, and they're starting to spend some money now. And I think that's the situation that a lot of clubs are seeing now. Then when Chiefs come knocking at your door, your price just starts going up and up and up. And yeah, I think if you sell into Chiefs now, the guys know that there might be an element of desperation there, and you start pushing the price up. And I think that's going to be happening to Chiefs now, leading up all the way into the end of the transfer window. It's going to be tough for them not to spend a lot of money if they're going to want to reinforce the squad.
Man, I'm so sad that we're so short on time. I've got so much to still discuss with you guys, and I think we're getting so much from the readers as well. But we'll save them for the next show, which obviously drops this week. But for now, thank you very much, gents. I really enjoyed this chat. I'm sure the viewers are also looking forward to your responses. And you kept it genuine as well, Mikey, about your feelings. Otherwise, yeah, gents, thank you very much. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining SoccerBeat. Don't you forget, drop us those comments right here. The Chiefs shirt is up for grabs. 6 of them every single week that you can win. Leave us your comments. The question is, Abafana Boktula? I don't want to give you the answer. There, Cheese is showing you. Drop us your comments right here on YouTube to qualify. Subscribe, and you'll be in that draw to win one of these fantastic brand new jerseys from Kappa. Especially if you're a Kaizer Chiefs fan, they're really hot at the moment. So yeah, gents, until the next one, that's me, Umdlali. Dlala Mdlali Mhlabango wakho. Every single week, we'll be giving away 6 Kaizer Chiefs jerseys. I repeat, 6 brand new Kaizer Chiefs jerseys, proudly brought to you by Kappa. All you have to do is finish the sentence. Abafana Bogutula, you know the rest. Comment below with your answer. Remember, you have to be a subscriber to SoccerBeat. Standard T's and C's apply.